Sometimes the most revealing piece of evidence, it's not some smoking gun document, it's not a blurry photograph. Nope, it's just a single, unguarded conversation. And boy, do we have one for you today. So let's dive right in and break down exactly what makes this call feel so off, moment by moment. Okay, so it kicks off simply enough, right? Just a standard professional greeting. We're jumping right into a call that sounds totally normal, but trust me, that's not going to last long. We're going to break down every single turn this thing takes. All right, so we've got our two main players here. There's this unknown caller, and then the guy he's trying to get a hold of, Andrew Bella. For now, everything's polite, just pleasantries. But underneath all that, the caller, he's got a very, very specific agenda.
And this is where it all changes. The caller gets Andrew on the line, and he doesn't mess around. The real reason for this call is about to come right out into the open.
And boom, there it is. No beating around the bush whatsoever. The caller, we find out his name is Ned, just drops this incredibly serious accusation against someone named Ghazala Din. And just like that, he pulls Andrew right into the middle of it. You can almost feel the air get sucked out of the room on that call, can't you? Okay, so let's get our cast of characters straight. First, you've got Ned, who's pretty much playing the part of an investigator here. Then there's Andrew Bella, and he's the big question mark, right? Is this guy a victim, or is he in on it? And then, right in the middle of this whole thing, you have Ghazala Din, the person being accused, but someone we never actually get to hear from. So, what does Ned do next? He lays out a timeline, kind of gives some context to what he's claiming. He says this whole thing isn't new, it's been going on for over 5 years, and that payments to investors just stopped back in 2021. It's smart, right? He's building his case and raising the stakes before he goes in for the kill with the big question. And here it is, the moment of truth. Ned puts Andrew right on the spot. Hey, are you a victim too? Or what's your deal here? It's a simple, direct question that really needs a simple, direct answer. And trust me, how Andrew responds to this, well, it's going to tell us everything we need to know. All right, so the accusation is out there. It's on the table. Now let's turn our attention to Andrew's reaction, because what you're about to hear is, well, it's a masterclass in evasion. I want you to listen really closely, not just to what he says, but to what he so carefully doesn't say. Did you catch that? Instead of a yes or a no to a very direct question, Andrew just pivots. He completely deflects by asking a question of his own. It's such a classic move, right? Buys some time, shifts the heat away from him, and back onto the person asking the tough questions. I mean, this just lays out the entire dynamic of the call perfectly, doesn't it? On one side, you've got Ned coming in hot, super direct. And on the other side, you've got Andrew, who is just a brick wall of evasion. He won't confirm anything, he won't deny anything, he just won't engage. It's a total cat and mouse game being played over the phone. Okay, this line right here, this might be the most telling thing he says in the whole conversation. Listen to how Andrew frames this. He's basically saying, hey, I'm not being evasive, I'm just being cautious. I don't know you. He's trying to paint himself as this neutral party who won't say anything good or bad. But of course, that's a complete non-answer. What he's really doing is building this nice, thick wall of plausible deniability. So where does a tense interrogation like this even go? Well, it doesn't end with a confession. It doesn't end with a denial. It ends with a really, really convenient interruption. I guess the pressure just got to be a little too much, and an escape hatch was needed. Fast. And there's the escape hatch. The classic, oh, sorry, I'm busy right now. By saying he's with a client, Andrew gives himself this perfect, legitimate-sounding excuse to just end the call. In one move, he takes back control and shuts down the entire interrogation on his terms. But here's the thing, he doesn't just hang up. He makes a promise. A very specific promise, actually. He says he'll call back after 3:30. Now, this is clever. It does two things. One, it makes his excuse sound a lot more believable. And two, it gets Ned to hang up the phone. But it also leaves this one big dangling thread. And that brings us right to the end. You know, in an investigation like this, sometimes the biggest clue isn't what happened, it's what didn't happen. The silence after a call can speak volumes, way more than the words ever did. So, the call is over. The promise is out there. Now what? So, really, we're left with just one final, lingering question. After all that dodging, all that deflecting, and that super convenient exit, what do you think happened after 3:30? The recording cuts off, so we're left to draw our own conclusions. But in a case like this, that silence, well, sometimes it's the loudest answer you'll ever get.